Thank you. It's really funny. When Lauren was a couple of years before she finished school, she came home and we recently learned it was a small group of her friends, but at the time she said it was just Rosie, her best friend, who came to Lauren and declared that she had worked out what we did for a living. Ever occurred to any of you parents that the kids actually wonder, what do they do? And Lauren said, oh, well, what do you think they do? And so Rosie said, well, obviously they're international spies. I was going, what the hell are you talking about? Rosie said, well, you've obviously got a crap load of money from Rosie's perspective. That's cool. But your parents never seem to work. You know, sometimes we'll come home from school and they'll be going to lunch or sitting on the top deck having coffee. You know, the roller door goes up and your dad rides off on that transformer thing of his. I come over and on the hallway table there's always passports and wads of foreign cash lying around the place. And, I've been down in the cellar, so I've seen the swords and the medals and the plaques and that sort of crap. And your dad goes to Paris for the weekend. Obviously, that's like a little assassination job. I thought that was hysterical. I thought that was really pretty cool for the kids to think that. And that was before. She hasn't even seen what my beautiful wife bought me for my 50th birthday just recently. So I'm going to make sure that next time she comes over, she can catch me just cleaning it on the back deck or something. Oh, Rosie. The reason I tell you that little story is that is not my, let's call it genetic makeup. I grew up, as Shweta was saying, probably not as modestly as Shweta, but, we were low middle class. Dad was a teacher. Mum was a nurse and stayed at home most of her life. And we never talked about money. I knew that Mum got some sort of housekeeping allowance that she would buy groceries with, but we never really discussed money. We got by. I went to a very wealthy school because Dad was the headmaster. Who wants to be ostracised at school? Any tips? Have your dad as a headmaster? Great way to do it. But only because Dad was a senior master, I got to go for free and then a half price in senior school. So I didn't have any experience of entrepreneurs, of wealth. I was programmed the same as most of us were programmed in the industrial age, with adjectives like filthy rich. What happened to clean rich? And you've got to work hard to make an honest living, inferring if it's not hard, it's not honest. So it was really pretty challenging. Then I went to join the army. Now, the problem with the army is you have no frame of reference of money. Where are the ex-military people in the room? Awesome, great, good numbers. Thank you for your service. But man, you get out and you go, if I want my tooth done, I go to the army dentist. He fixes it. He wants something blown up, he comes to me and it goes away. You don't exchange money. You don't exchange cash. So getting out of the army, whatever it was, I think it was 24, really had very little understanding of money. I remember getting a job delivering pizzas because I'd spent most of it. And did a long pizza delivery and then rode all the way back and got there, and just before I got back to the delivery place, I stopped at a 7-Eleven, got a bottle of apple juice, which I chugged in about 10 seconds, and then realised that the last 50 or so minutes of my life delivering that's all I made from delivering the pizza. And that was the first time I recognised effort for money. I thought, wow, I just drank the last 45 minutes of my life, and it wasn't even alcohol. It was apple juice. So what I want to try and get across to you today are some of the mental and emotional hurdles, understanding maybe some of the programming that you guys have been the victims of, because we all want to move on and grow and improve. Thank you. Then to give you maybe some BFOs, or maybe it's a BFS, that's a blinding flash of shit. In relation to your own path to wealth and what you need to do now to get somewhere. But I'm the how-to guy, not the what-to guy. I don't want to talk in bumper sticker. So I want to give you some insights into just a few of the projects that we have done. What's typical, it might give you some ideas for some of the rules that Brad was talking about setting for your own investment strategy. We do property. And give you some insights into some of the numbers, and then you're very welcome to ask questions. I actually threw these couple of slides in last second, so guess where that might be? Yeah. So you can hire beautiful boats up there. Some years back, the kids were quite small, and they just said, look, give me the biggest boat you can get without a license. I remember after the week, we were cruising back into Hamilton Island, and it's like we're all up on the top flyer bridge, sitting back going, we have arrived. This is success. This is awesome. But just when you think you've arrived, the universe comes and screws you with your paradigm. So that's where we got parked. That's us at the front of what must be a 240-foot azimuth. Just bring it back down, Leachy. Just step it down. There is always somewhere more. And it's so important if you have the opportunity to do team. We've talked about, okay, what are your goals? What do you do? What's happening in the business? Go home and sit down with your wife, your partner, your husband, whoever it might be, and ask some of the questions that I'm going to suggest that you ponder yourselves in the next hour or so. I apologise, in an hour it's beyond the scope to teach you everything you should or would want to know. But I'm always here for you.